Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's K Gibbs F1 here, and welcome to some more Formula Xbox Season 7 highlights today. This time it's round 7, and we are in Canada at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. And as you can see, tyre strategy wise, we go with a balanced option. 3 sets of ultra soft, 1 set of super soft, and 2 sets of soft tyres. We're thinking maybe we might be able to go ultra soft in the race, or maybe run an ultra soft, super soft strategy as well. But enough about strategy. This is the end of our best quali lap now, and as we throw it through the final chicane, we get a bit of oversteer on the exit. We were briefly facing the wall of champions there, which was very terrifying indeed. We crossed the line 7 tenths up on our previous personal best, and a 1:13.4 to put us 12th in qualifying. Now 12th is a pretty good starting position, I think, because ultimately you're outside the top 10, so you get free choice on tyres, and ultimately it's not too far back. We're pretty much where we usually are in qualifying, really, just outside the top 10. And as you can see, we have 3, 4 and 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Pretty overcast up above. We don't think it's going to rain, but hopefully no one's going to rain on my parade into turn 1, as we're going to look to the outside of Vapid, and we go round the outside of him. In fact, at the apex of 1, he was very cautious there, and we've capitalised, so we're already up into P11, and we've got Drastic Devil in the Ferrari, P10, and ahead of us. He goes a little bit defensive into turn 3 there, but no option for us to overtake. We've already picked up a very, very cheap exceeding track limits warning there, so we're going to have to watch out for the rest of this race now. 35 laps, a long way to go, with only 2 exceeding track limits warnings, or 1 exceeding track limits warning in our pocket now. As you can see, still at the end of lap 2 on the back of Drastic Devil, who has a Manor in front of him as well. Again, the Manor pulls off into the pits there. Drastic Devil nearly followed him in, went cautious into the chicane as a result. But as you can see, now up into P9 with the Manor having got out of the way. And as you can see, this battle continues to rage on. Lap 3 now, we're closer to Drastic Devil's Ferrari than ever. He's going to go defensive into turn 9. We're not going to try and make a move into here. We're going to try and get a switchback and better drive out of the corner. We get a little bit of a snap of oversteer on the exit, and that has cost us on the way into the hairpin. We're going to look to the outside now as he's covered that inside line, and he's covered it well, so very good defending once again from Drastic Devil. We saw this last time out, of course, in Monaco, where excellent car placement into Saint Devot turn 1 meant that I just could not overtake him. However, we now have DRS, and it's a very powerful DRS here as well. We look to the inside, no defence for Drastic Devil this time. We're later than him on the brakes. We've got it stopped for the chicane, and that is P8 as Maestro goes and sets the fastest lap, and I do a very good job of nearly putting it in the wall. We just about managed to stay away from the barriers on this occasion, and breaking into 1, we've gone defensive and we have maintained the position. So a very scruffy exit from the final chicane, but ultimately we managed to hang on to the position regardless. Azar ahead of us in P7. Our chances of catching him are very, very slim indeed, so I doubt that's going to be on the cards. And Drastic Devil coming back at us now is looking to our inside into the hairpin. He's gone to our inside. We've given him lots of space there because we did not want to have a crash with the Ferrari, especially on lap 4. There's a lot of race to be run yet. There's no point getting anywhere near contact just yet. As you can see, we're on the inside now of Drastic Devil, but he's got the DRS, so he's going to manage to pull clear before the chicane. And I'm not, again, about to try a banzai down the inside, because that is only to be held for the last lap. And as you can see, with Sinan closing in on us now, yes, it may not be the last lap, yes, there might be quite a lot of race to run, but we're losing a bit of time behind Drastic Devil, and that Red Bull is a little too close for comfort. So Drastic Devil P8, I'm P9, Sinan P10, and this battle rages on. Drastic Devil, of course, on the ultra soft tyres, as you can see. I'm on the super soft, as is Sinan, so we do have, well, he has a tyre advantage over us, Drastic Devil, at the moment, but he's not really putting it to good use just yet. And so really he should be boxing sooner rather than later anyway, as he squeezes onto the grass there. We go wide, 2 wheels on the grass, and the braking zone is never a good call. Sinan goes through. I nearly drop it on the apron there, and Drastic Midget's closed into us now. He's on the soft tyre, and we've lost about 5 seconds in that incident, and those two have now scarpered down the road. We close them in a little bit, as their battle was pretty ferocious over those past 2 laps. But it's F1 Maestro, who we saw setting fastest laps earlier on, who's now right on our tail, and we've clipped the wall on the entrance there into turn 7, and Maestro makes his move on us there as well. So we're now demoted to P10. And Maestro, to be fair, was always going to be passing us there, so it wasn't really a fight worth having. And as you can see, we have the DRS, but on that note, we're not going to be making a move down the inside of the chicane. We're going to let Maestro try and tow us up to the guys ahead, but he doesn't really need to, because as you can see, Sinan and Drastic Devil have come to blows. Worthy getting lapped there as well, but we've gained 2 places out of that, as the Ferrari and the Red Bull came together, and it also prompted a virtual safety car, but no real gainers or losers there. But Drastic Midget soon closes onto the back of us. Lap 10, our tyres are a little second hand now, as you can see, especially on the rears, or the rear, well, compared at least to the front right. And as you can see, Drastic Midget closing in on us now. Will he have a look into the chicane? I haven't defended it, but Drastic Midget's gone for it anyway, and yes, makes the move stick. Good move there from Drastic Midget. We didn't defend it because we didn't really expect him to go for it, but when he did go for it, it was very cleanly done indeed. And Vapid's now having a look down the inside of us into turn 1, but again, just like on lap 1, we've hung it out around the outside and maintained position over Vapid, Coots, Force India. And we've managed to hang on to the back of Drastic Midget as well, coming on to the end of lap 11, and we're hoping to get a bit of DRS service down the back straight. We pick up another exceeding track limits warning. We're not even going to need the DRS service because Drastic Midget's got it all wrong coming out of there. I nearly hit the back of the Williams because I was too busy looking behind, and I've outbraked myself into the hairpin now as well. Vapid Coot having a look down the inside. We had to give him some space on the apex there. We were about to turn right across his nose. But now we have the DRS on Drastic Midget. He's covered off the inside line. We're going to have to go to the outside now, but he's got some great straight line speed in that Williams. No cigar for us there into the chicane. He covered that line off very well indeed. We've got it all crossed up on the exit of the chicane. Can we make a move into turn 1? We're going to be closing, but again, that straight line speed of the Williams is very, very strong indeed. And that could be pivotal in this battle, because I don't think I'm going to be able to cruise past on the straight. And speaking of cruise past, Jack Spar, who's one of the front runners in this race, one of the race winning contenders, has now passed us. He's of course made his first stop, unlike us. He's moved from ultra soft to super to ultra soft to soft, I should say, and so, as has Ollie Bob behind us as well. So Ollie Bob in the McLaren, you'd imagine, is going to be straight past us as well. Drastic Midget now has been demoted from 4th to 5th by the Force India, and we've hit the wall there and been demoted to 7th ourselves. Ollie Bob was always going to be making that move, but frustratingly we've hit that wall of champions, and that's a bit of front wing damage for us now as well. It's a yellow front wing, so it's not the end of the world, but it's certainly suboptimal, as Ron Dennis would say, as we now box from P7 on lap 14, and we're going to be switching from our super soft tyres onto a set of soft tyres. So I'd actually forgotten there what tyres we went onto in this race, as we have a new front wing fitted as well by our mechanics. So that yellow front wing damage, we managed to cope with it for a couple of laps, but it certainly was costing us more time than what we'd lose in the pit stop having it replaced. And as you can see now, we emerge from that stop in P14 on lap 15 of this 35 lap race. So the plan now on the soft tyres is to maybe take these to the end, or if not, to go on to a set of ultra softs in the final stint, where we'll be able to just absolutely hammer the life of those ultra soft tyres. And just as I say that, strategy calls thrown up in the air and out the window as the safety car is deployed. So an interesting time in the race for this safety car to come out. Obviously we've just pitted for our soft tyres. A lot of other guys made pit stops in this phase as well, and as you can see, a lap later we actually decided to take to the pit lane as well. And you might be thinking, well, why have you bothered doing that? Because obviously you were going to take soft tyres to the end anyway. Well, lap 15 to lap 35 on one set of softs was always going to be pretty marginal. So what I decided here was to sacrifice what was only 1 or 2 positions on track, and instead go for a set of soft tyres which will guarantee me to get to the end of the race. A much more comfortable strategy there, and it was definitely worthwhile making that pit stop. Now as you can see, we've picked up a bit of front wing damage behind the safety car as the inevitable bunching happened, as you can see, happening once again just as it did previously. So that's a bit of front wing damage for us to contend with now. We're going to try and take it to the end of the race if we can, because we do not want to have to stop again. But on lap 22 it's race restart time as we cross the line in P13. Kung Fu Kenny ahead of us in the manor, and as you can see, very close up ahead with Drastic Devil taking to the grass. The Mighty Midget having a look at him. Kung Fu Kenny's dropped it. We're in the wall in dramatic fashion. Sinan out as well. We've all come to grief on the exit of turn 2, and that is now serious front wing damage, and that will facilitate another pit stop, a third pit stop for us So as we dive on the end of lap 23 into the pits, it is chances of points out of the window on that one with P15 out of 16. And well, Kung Fu Kenny, as you saw, just dropped it coming out of turn 2. We had absolutely nowhere to go, got collected, and unfortunately Sinan, again another innocent party like myself, collected up in that incident. And well, that's the most dramatic crash I've had in quite a while in Formula Xbox. I'm astonished actually that I didn't have any front suspension folding or anything like that in that particular incident. It's astonishing I managed to keep going. But there we go, the game impact mechanics playing in our favour there. As you can see, Perez actually out of this race, Jack Spa out of this race as well on lap 28. So we begin to sniff a chance at points now with a couple of drivers dropping out and the Mighty Midget now dropping out as well. Believe a bit of lag affected this lap quite dramatically and several drivers were caught out in dramatic fashion by it. So a few retirements, and that's now P13 out of 13, but we're about to pass both Jack Spa and Mighty Midget, which will take us into P11. And as I said, a chance at points now beckons for us. So after that dramatic accident with Kung Fu Kenny, we now could have a shot at scoring some points, particularly when we find out that Drastic Midget in P10 has actually got a bit of front wing damage, which causes him to pit, and Drastic Devil likewise. As you can see, we're now up into P9, so sensationally staring down the barrel of 2 points. But Drastic Devil, who's just come out the pits on a fresh set of ultra soft tyres, has got much better tyres on his Ferrari than we have on our Mercedes. And as we know, Drastic Devil is a pretty uncompromising racer. As we head now through turns 4, 5 and 6, he's having a look down the inside into 6. That's bold, but he's got the job done, and we try and go down the inside through 7, but to no avail there. And Drastic Devil nabs that place off of us, and we're demoted to P10. Drastic Devil ahead of us did have a few time penalties, but we just could not hang on to the back of him. And as you can see, the final lap of this race now, it's Feely behind us in his Sauber. We've outbraked ourselves there. Our tyres very second hand at this point. Feely, who's had a few dramas in this race himself, now on super soft tyres that are a lot younger than ours. And he closed us down very quickly in these closing stages. And you'd imagine with DRS, he is going to pass us at an absolute canter. And we're going to have no defence for him. We're not going to get the traction off of this hairpin that we'd like and that we'd be able to defend the position with. And he's already having a look down our inside on the exit. We have to offer him some space there. And as you can see, getting it all squirrely on the way out of the corner, on the curb as well on the exit. And that's not helped our cause at all. Feely is going to go cruising down our inside, and it's not even worth me even defending that one. He's got the job done very easily into the chicane. And as we hop over the curbs now, it's going to at least be a P10 finish. And as penalties shake themselves out, we may actually even creep up a little higher, and we do indeed, up to P8 in the final assessment there. So from being in the barriers on lap 28 to finishing P8, I will most certainly take that result. A solid points finish for us in the end, and with a race with plenty of drama, plenty of action, and another couple of front wings to add to my collection of damaged bodywork for this season, we shall take a few points from that one. So it was Melanie who actually won, the Finn who actually won on his debut in Formula Xbox, so a very solid result for him. Azar, who did actually cross the line first, but took a few penalties for exceeding track limits, which demoted him to second. And Maestro in third. We let him by when he was down in P10 earlier in this race, and as you can see, it was well worth doing because he was certainly not in our race by the end of it. Thank you ever so much for watching these highlights, guys. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like and please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But until next time, I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.